Welcome back to Hawk Talk. I'm Bill Riddle, your host. And this week around the nest, here's what's happening. We've got men's and women are playing the Firehawk shootout on Friday and Saturday. Bethel, Cumberland University, and Freed-Hardeman will be here playing against our Firehawks on those 2 days. So come out and check it out. Also, Saturday is the women's soccer senior day. 1:30 is the start at Grisham Pitch. So make sure you try to make it out there and check out the women's soccer team. And then this week, we had 3 conference players of the week, one in volleyball, one in men's soccer, and one in women's soccer. And on this segment, we're talking about basketball. We've got Ross James, our women's basketball head coach, and then Andy Sharpe, our men's basketball head coach. So basketball season is right around the corner, so stay tuned. Welcome to Hawk Talk. I'm Bill Riddle. We've got Ross James, our women's basketball coach, and man, the basketball season is right around the corner, so we're diving straight into basketball here. What do you look for in a basketball player when you're out there on the recruiting trail? Because I know you're out there looking for players all the time, like I am. What are you really looking for in a player?
Well, if we're talking about specifically just basketball, obviously,
right.
I look for players that can score the ball. That's the most important thing to me. Defense does come secondary. I think that's something you can more or less teach, but offensively, being able to put the ball in the basket is essential. If we're talking about personality traits and things of that nature, I look for players that are number one, self-motivated.
Right.
Okay. Number 2, self-disciplined. Number 3, they have a quest for knowledge. So that means they know what they want to do with their life outside of basketball. I find that those players make the transition in college better than those kids who come in and are like, I don't know what I want to do life after basketball.
Yeah.
Another piece that I look for, and it's really important, I look for personality. If you've seen my team, they've got lots of personality.
Right.
And I love that because I love being around people with personality.
Yeah.
It just makes it a more fun environment. The players get along better, I think. And it's just, it's more exciting to be around them, frankly.
Well, you've been coaching basketball for a long time. How has the game or maybe your coaching take changed over the years?
Certainly. So when I started 15 years ago, it was, traditional basketball, 3 out, 2 in, very slow grind game. Most games were played in the 50s and 60s. As basketball has changed and evolved, it's become more 4 out, 1 in, more 5 out oriented.
Right.
And I've adjusted along those lines so we can play at a faster and quicker pace.
Well, the elephant in the room for college athletics is NIL.
Right.
And it's rampant in a lot of the divisions, a lot of the schools. Where have you seen it go, and where is it going at the NAI level? Is it affecting you guys? I mean, talk to us a little bit about that, because it's out there.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's primarily at the Division I and the Division II levels. There are a few NAIAs that do the NIL space. I know we're working on some things here at UT Southern for that piece. I'm still waiting, talking to some donors to give us some, let's call them grocery store dollars for our team. That way they can have a little bit more pocket money at the end of the day.
Right.
But overall, NIL, I think it's a great thing for every level. But I also think it needs to have some structure, more structure around it. I think at the NCAA level, it's kind of run amok of what the intention was at the end of the day.
Yeah, and a lot of players, they come to college because they're looking to maybe move on to the next level.
Right.
We see that a lot in tennis. Do you see that very often on the basketball court? I mean, what are your players looking for after their college experience?
Again, yeah, it kind of goes back to what I look for when I'm recruiting players. I want them to know what it is they want before they even get to college, right? So I've had in my career as a coach, I've had players go play overseas in Italy. I've had players go overseas in Spain. I've had one player drafted in the WNBA, Natalie Kikowski. Really, it just depends on what they're looking for, and then trying to provide them with the avenue or the path to get them where they can't get by themselves, right? Whether it be me helping them, whether it be through an agent, whether it be through other coaching staff members, but just ensuring that whatever it is they want, that they're able to pursue their dreams.
Yeah, and you brought up the WNBA. There's much more exposure for WNBA than I think I've seen in many years. Is that affecting the girls at the NAI level, or if it is, like, what are they looking for?
Oh, at the NAI level,
Yeah.
I'd say most of them are looking for a college education and then something where they can pursue, a job at the end of the day. I had 4 seniors graduate last year. 2 went on to One's working in the FBI, another one's working in the fire department. I've got another one in the health sciences. I believe she's trying to pursue a nursing degree right now. And another one decided to forego going into the real world and getting a job.
Okay.
And now she's pursuing her graduate degree at another school as well. So just different avenues for different people. Again, my first year at the NEI level, but at the Division I and Division II levels, you see more players usually go play overseas or get the opportunity to be drafted in the WNBA and things of that nature.
Right. And so for a player coming in to your program, what do they need to be able to do on court to be successful at 4 years at University of Tennessee Southern?
Yeah, I think the first piece, it kind of goes back to what I look for in players. You got to be self-motivated. You got to be self-disciplined. Without those two pieces, everything else kind of falls apart, frankly. You need to have those pieces. And those things I mentioned earlier are all things that aren't just specific to basketball. Those are specific to life at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right. And if you come in with a few of those, we'll help try to nurture the other ones and try to build those into you as you're here. But things that I really look for in terms of the basketball piece, again, being able to score the ball, being able to play fast. As you know, last year we averaged about 80 a game. This year I want to push 90 to 100. We had a game the other night. We scored 100 points. Yeah. Thought we could have scored 140 if we'd played better defense. But, regardless of the situation, just being able to play up-tempo and fast is really important when it comes to our style of play.
Well, it's interesting. You've said offense, you've said defense. If you had to pick one or the other, is one more important than the other, or are they just dead equal?
I'm going to agree with your last statement. They're equal. Right. But at the end of the day, nobody's ever won a game 0 to -1 in basketball.
Right.
So you have to score more points than the other team.
Right.
So if I did have to tip it a little bit, I would say offense is more important because you have to be able to put the ball in the basket.
Got to be able to score some hoops, and that's one of my specialties. I don't know if you know that or not, but maybe we'll show you one day.
Okay.
So let's talk about some keys to this next season here. Some of the players coming back, maybe some of the new people. Highlight some of those folks that are going to be really, really important for the success of the team.
Certainly. So let's start with some of the returners.
Okay.
I've got 2 seniors and 2 juniors that return to the team. Silky Vasquez from Puerto Rico, Ashley Dickey from Baltimore, Maryland, Lauren Smith from Nashville, Tennessee, and then Mary Claire Pike from Franklin, Tennessee. Okay. Including those 4, I've got 13 other new ones between transfers, freshmen, and sophomores. All of them bring a little bit different piece to the table. That was one of the things I really looked for was I don't like all my players to be the same. I like everybody to bring a unique skill set.
Yeah.
Right. That way, depending on what we need for what game and what situation, we can kind of plug and play, and we don't have any drop off throughout the entirety of it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about all of our returners, and then a few of the newcomers that I think might have an opportunity to really make an impact this year. Be Mary Paz Martinez. I think she might be able to make an impact. A young lady from the Costa Rican national team. Okay. Ramey Reed down from Alabama, Division II transfer. I'm looking forward to her. Ansley Burleson from Summertown, Tennessee, a local young lady. Another one, Mia Jones from Memphis, Tennessee. Really trying hard to reach into Memphis and get as many players as I can in the next few years. It's important to me. And then some of the freshmen, I would say, Taya Totten out of Portland High School. I don't know if anybody's ever been there before. It's about as big as Pulaski is. But it's certainly a place where good basketball is played. Have a lot of respect for their high school coach there. Another freshman that I think is going to make a big impact this year is Debrianna Jones from Union City, kind of out that West Tennessee area again. Trying to pull from that area. She's a strong physical player. She's like a bull in the china shop. I love that about her. Yeah. She knocked over 4 people last night. She only got 1 foul called, which is wonderful. I love that. It's not tennis. We can hit people here.
You can hit people there, yeah.
But overall, we've got a lot of good new pieces and a solid core returning.
Well, I got to spend a little bit of time with your team out on the pickleball court. Talked to them for a little bit. That was a fun afternoon we spent with them. You got a great group of young ladies, and looking forward to what's going to happen with the basketball season. But we want to wrap up with a little segment we call This or That. Okay, so this is just for fun. All you got to do is just pick this or that, all right? Okay. So are you ready for this?
I am as prepared as I will ever be.
Okay, all right. So cake or pie?
Pie.
Pie, all right. ice cream with or without sprinkles?
I don't like ice cream at all.
Okay. All right, we're going to go no sprinkles there. All right, so breakfast. Do you have sausage or do you have bacon?
Bacon.
Okay. Pizza with or without pineapple?
Without.
Without. Okay, thank you. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
All right. And your favorite season of the year?
Summer at the beach.
Summer at the beach. Well, Ross, you made it through this or that. You made it through the interview. Appreciate you being here. Good luck this season. I know I'm going to be watching. Folks, if you haven't been out for a game, you got to check out the ladies on the basketball court. Ross, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate your
All
time.
right. All right, welcome, everyone. We're transitioning from women's basketball to men's basketball. And Coach Andy Sharpe, man, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Look, we're right on the verge of the basketball season, and I think a lot of people are excited about it. But I want to talk a little bit about your kind of pathway getting here, because you had some experience at Martin Methodist.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your journey to UT Southern.
Yeah, so it's kind of been a full circle moment for the Sharpe family. We came to Pulaski in 2007. My wife and I bought our first home here. We had 2 of our 3 kids here. I coached the men's basketball program from 07 to 12, and had an incredible time here, and that kind of led to an opportunity in Arkansas at a Division II university, and spent 10 years leading a D2 program out there, and I actually spent 2 years out of coaching. At the end of the 22 season at SAU, I got recruited to the financial sector. I actually ran a bank for 2 years.
Well, that's where the money's at, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've got. I don't have it, but yeah, and then in a roundabout way, I connected again with Brandy Paul, and when Coach Lyon left, and had a competitive itch that I needed to scratch,
right.
And coming back to a familiar place, checked all the boxes. So we loaded up from Arkansas and got here in August last year.
Yeah. And you were here as Martin Methodist College. Now you're here as University of Tennessee Southern. Talk a little bit about what you've seen in as far as a change from. I mean, it's the same buildings.
Yeah.
It's the same plot of land, but there's a difference.
Right.
Talk about the difference.
Yeah, there are some differences. I think probably the biggest difference is, we have a little more brand recognition now. When you say UT Southern, you lead with that UT, and people immediately recognize, what you're talking about.
Right.
Back in the Martin Methodist days, people were like, "What, Martin Methodist College? Where is that?"
Where?
I've never heard of that before. So I think the brand recognition gets us in a few more doors,
yes,
so to speak, a little more immediately. That's probably the biggest difference, I would think.
Yeah, and you talk about brand recognition. I mean, are you seeing the recruits come to you more now because of University of Tennessee Southern, or are you still having to go out there and kind of educate them? And how has that changed recruiting for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, in the initial recruiting talks, when I say, "Hey, I'm Andy Sharpe from UT Southern," we're part of the UT system. You've heard of UT Knoxville, UT Martin, UT Chattanooga. We're the newest member of that system, and so that kind of segues, and it kind of gives you a little more, bang for your buck right out of the gate.
Yeah.
But we're obviously still recruiting, and having to compete with the same cast of characters, that we would normally have to recruit with. But yeah, leading with UT Southern really allows us to, I think, to have a little more credibility right away.
In the tennis world, where I sit, they talk about Division II and NAI being very, very similar. Mm-hmm. You coached there in the basketball world. Do you see similarities in NAI and D2 in the basketball world as well? And if so, then kind of talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot more parity from top to bottom now at all levels, from D1, like the Power Four, and that's a whole different world.
It's a different world.
But for years and years, I know Coach Line and Coach Combs had a ton of success playing Division Ones, and beat several D1. So I think there is some differences, but I think that gap is shrinking. I think the transfer portal has made it insanely, more even across the board. I mean,
Right.
our leading scorer last year, Zayden Cross left and entered the portal, and now he's at a D1 in Louisiana. So I think top to bottom, there's just a lot more parity. D2 and NAI are pretty interchangeable in a lot of ways, and I think we're right on the cusp, right behind the low major Division Ones that are right there.
Yeah. I think I know the answer to this because you kind of alluded to it, but real simple question. Why do you coach basketball?
Man, it is what the Lord put me on this earth to do, and not really the coaching aspect. Just having the opportunity to impact young people is really what I believe I'm here to do.
Right.
To have a chance to potentially change the trajectory of a young man's life through the game of basketball.
Yeah.
I'm able to, to share my faith with guys and to help, bring guys, out of certain situations and broaden their horizons and show them, things that they're going to learn through the game of basketball. And I think everyone should have to play a team sport at some point in their life.
Right.
Just it brings so many things to the table, so many lessons to learn that apply to, just to your regular life. So I absolutely love it. I love being able to share my home with our guys and have them over. My family's super involved.
Right.
They travel with us on the road sometimes. My wife loves to cook for them, and my kids have grown up around
Around
15
players.
guys every year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't uncommon for them to, we had a kid at SAU that was 6'10", and my Asher who's 15 now, he was 4, and he was riding the bus with Kevin. He's in the back seat with Kevin on the bus, and it couldn't have been, any more different. But it's just it's quite an experience to be able to share your life with other people.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about games coming up pretty soon. The season really kicking off for you. What determines your lineup? For me, when I'm coaching tennis, there's certain skills. Same thing applied to a basketball coach. Or are you looking for certain skills to be able to put that Fab Five out there, or
Sure.
How's that work?
We're looking at who can impact winning.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we're trying to compete and win games. We're very process oriented, so they are dictating their playing time in a lot of ways every single day. They've got to come to practice every single day,
Right.
With the right mindset that they're there to improve and to compete. And, but there's lots of ways to impact winning. Naturally, everyone thinks about who can score the points. Well, yeah, that's a major part of it. You got to have somebody that's going to score the basketball.
Yeah.
Who's going to be our best defender? I know Coach James is very offensive minded, and he, and that works for them. I'm the opposite. I'm kind of an old school guy. I believe in defending and rebounding and trying to make the game really physical, really tough. We want to be a team that no one wants to play.
Right.
We're going to guard you from the second you get off the bus until you decide to go back home. And,
I like that.
So we have a physical brand of basketball that we like to play. It's very much like University of Tennessee in Knoxville or University of Houston. Coach Sampson and Coach Barnes, it's kind of that old school mentality, and that's the era that I played in, and that's how I coach.
Very, very physical.
It's going to be physical. Yeah.
I like that. Well, season's right around the corner here. Expectations and maybe some impact players that you see really making a difference this season?
Yeah, so we have 9 new players, and that's kind of partly in due to the portal. the portal just is going to make it where you have to get a new team every year, unfortunately. In the basketball world, I think the days of having a group of guys stay with you for 4 and 5 years, I think those days are probably over.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I really enjoyed that, being able to build out a program over years and years. But yeah, so it's here, and we've had some really competitive practices. Mike Bell is probably our most well-known returner. I think he averaged 12 or 13 a game last year. And Mike has, probably more experience than any of the other returners that are coming back. So we bring in 9 new guys. Latarius Brewer is a true freshman, played here at Giles County, and leaps and bounds. Terry's improved from September the 15th till now. I mean, he's really, really improved. Most true freshmen really struggle with the pace of play, with the physicality, with the shot clock, all the things. And Terry struggled for the first couple weeks, and now you can really see and feel him getting more comfortable with the speed and things like that. But we're gonna have a lot of new faces, and I think we have a lot of the ingredients that go into having a team that can compete for a championship. I really feel like we have some guys that can shoot the ball. We have some dynamic guards. We're a lot bigger this year on the wings. We have 3 post players. Last year we had 1 post player. We have 3 post players this year that we can interchange. So we have a lot of depth. So the hard part, and the part that I like is I get a chance to try to move the puzzle pieces around and figure out what works well with each other, and try to figure out all those things.
Well, it's good that you got a number of pieces to be able to move around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
And you talk about the physicality. I've seen some of the videos on Instagram of your early morning. I think they were 6 a.m. workouts, still dark outside.
Yeah.
The sled, the back hill over there. So I can appreciate that from a coaching standpoint. All right, before we kind of wrap up here, I like to do a little fun segment here called This or That.
Okay.
So you just got to hit me with what works for you, all right?
Okay.
Cake or pie?
Ooh, that's a really tough question.
I mean, okay, so
cake,
pie, or both?
It would be a both for me. Chocolate pie for sure. Yellow cake with chocolate icing. I'm a chocolate guy, so
I feel like I need to hang out with you more often. I think we could do some damage at the restaurants here locally. All right, ice cream with or without sprinkles?
No sprinkles.
No sprinkles. All right.
No sprinkles.
It's breakfast time. Are you going sausage or bacon?
Bacon.
Okay. Crispy?
Yes.
Is there any other?
Is there another way to have it?
There's not. There's not. All right. We're having pizza. Do you have pineapple on or with or without pineapple?
I'm pretty plain when it comes to pizza. I'm no pineapple. I'm pretty plain Jane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
That's
pepperoni, sauce, cheese.
Yeah, pretty simple.
It works.
It works, yeah.
All right. Big one. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
All right. Your favorite season of the year?
I love Christmas. So
winter?
I'm a winter guy. I love Christmas time and just the holiday season, and we're kind of moving into that Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that stuff right here together. So
it's right around the corner.
This is my favorite time of year.
Well, Andy, I appreciate your time, man. It's been a blast. Hopefully they've learned some things about our upcoming season, our team, and you, and can't wait to see you guys in action.
Yeah, thanks a lot for
being
here.
Thanks,
appreciate
buddy.
you.
All right, bye-bye.